It's 21 Next. I'm Jasmine Brooks. Thanks for joining us live tonight on Facebook and YouTube. A lot to get to, and I do not like the story I'm about to talk to Maxine Rose about, because cats killed by pit bulls, but it's worse. Stray cats, an owner allegedly says, go get them, and before you know it, these cats are dead. First off, where exactly did this go down, and how do people know it even happened?
Yeah, so we are on Market Street right now, Jasmine, in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And they found out it happened. So they, meaning the people who are kind of taking care of these essentially colony cats, so stray cats. And, you know, that they saw that one of the cats had died. They thought maybe, okay, like a car ran over it. And then the next day, another cat of theirs died. So they checked their camera and they saw this video, which you're looking at right now. They can see the person telling the dog to go get those cats.
Yeah, so on the camera, you can hear somebody yell to signal the dog to go get him, right?
Yeah.
All right. So also, I did want to point out, Castaway Critters, they're not the people who actually took this surveillance video, right?
Correct. Yeah. So these people whose video, you know, that is, and who was taking care of those cats that you're seeing there, they work with Castaway Critters, which is a foster-based rescue, right? So like they were fostering these cats, you know, for Castaway Critters, essentially.
What are the Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. All I was going to say too is that Castaway Critters also like helps to bring some of the food and the things that they need up there. So it's kind of like a community project, if you will. That's all.
I was going to say, what are the chances that we have this video we're showing now? Explain where this came from and why we have this.
Okay, so our photojournalist, Ashley Crowther, and also Fatima Moen, our CBS 21 reporter, they had met the cats that we're talking about here, and Winston and Gloria, or Gloria is sometimes called Baby by many in the community. And, you know, they just happened to stumble upon them one day while doing a story and covering a story. And so we have the videos of them, I think 3 months ago.
So, all right. So yeah, we have this video. Okay. And then fast forward. So in this neighborhood, oh, that video makes me so sick.
I know.
You know, so I guess the other side of all this, right?
Yeah.
You have these cats. How many are in this colony? Do you know? What are they doing that's a nuisance? How long has this been going on?
Yeah. So when we talk about the other side, right? A lot of people are agreeing that what happened was bad, right? Bottom line, to watch something like that happen, to tell the dog to do something like that, it's awful. The other side is really, well, you know, you shouldn't keep your cats outside, or, you know, you shouldn't be participating in a TNR, a trap, neuter, you know, release or rescue program. It's, you know, either one. Just the fact that these people are kind of continuing to have to welcome in these cats to these neighborhoods is a problem for some people.
Sure.
So, you know, we talk about that a little bit. To answer your question about how many are in the colony, I'm not sure. I guess, you know, it also depends from neighborhood to neighborhood, but
you can see how friendly these cats are and how much trust they have for humans, and then for a human, you know, to say, go get him. Are we going to find out who the person that owns the pit bull is? And are they going to get in any trouble? Like, what happens here?
Yeah, I mean, Harrisburg police say that they are looking into this whole situation. They're aware of what happened. The officers here tell me, you know, the police came to their home after they found that video. But, you know, no one in the neighborhood recognizes that man. You know, we were knocking on doors today. Everybody was like, no, we've seen the video, but I don't know. You know, there are pit bulls in this area, but we've never seen one like that.
Really? So how many people let their pit bulls off a leash and just like on the street like that?
So that was the other thing, is they said, you know, we see a lot of pit bulls on the street, but like we don't have a lot of people just leaving the dog off the leash.
That man we see in the surveillance video,
Yeah.
Is he the dog's owner, or we don't know that yet?
I mean, I guess it's not. I mean, I guess you can assume that it is the owner, being that they'd seen twice, the Tuesday that Winston was killed and the Wednesday that that Gloria was killed. It's just, they were looking at that video. They saw the same man, the same dog.
So you're telling me the dog and man were caught on camera 2 days?
That's what they were saying.
Okay.
Obviously that video we have there is, a clip from one of those times, but they've all of this happened right outside of their home, essentially. So, one was that happened like right across the street, just feet away. Another one a little bit down the street. So, and then you also have neighbors around here who also have Ring cameras. So, people are catching this, but no one recognizes them.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think any neighbor can agree you don't want any kind of dog really off the leash if they can be aggressive in any way. So that could be an issue in itself. So, All right. We look forward to speaking with you at 10 and 11. Any clues as to what you're going to bring us interview wise? I don't know if people were reluctant to go on camera about this or how they felt.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that, because we, saw a lot of things on social media, people talking about that other side, that they might be against, the TNR programs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Those people, we kind of were struggling to get to speak on camera. I think it's a really controversial topic and not a lot of people want to talk about it, but people are, again, saying things on social media and is sparking a conversation. I want to leave you with one last thing though, Jasmine. One thing that I learned today, that really, it just devastated me. They were saying that these cats were about to find their forever home.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you for that, Maxine.
I know.
The story wasn't sad enough. Seriously. Oh my gosh.
I know. They said that they were just getting acclimated, becoming a little bit more friendly, and they were going to be, starting the process to finding their forever home. Yeah.
Thanks, Maxine. Ugh. Thank you so much. All right. We'll see you at 10. Bye. All right. Well, from Maxine's story to a story that I covered tonight, a crisis in the classroom story. Here's the deal. There is a crisis in the classroom, specifically when we're talking about early childhood education. Early childhood education, it is so important. Let me share a story with you right now. My kids are under 5 years old, and when they were in just, very, very early school, we're talking they were 2 and 3 years old, I had dropped them off, and because of this crisis, which is a staffing crisis, I had to give them to a teacher who I was not familiar with that day, filling in, and it was hard for them to go. Mom's leaving, now they're with a new teacher, and it's at no fault of the school. And they were so upset that I got upset, and that led to me taking them home and led to me having to take off work. And that is my personal story about feeling staffing issues at this level. It affects everyone. These women, like the one you're looking here, her name is Mrs. Garrity, take care of our most vulnerable little children and make life for us as adults possible in a lot of situations, so we can go to work and do what we have to do and keep them safe there. So you're looking at Jen DeBell. She's the executive director of the Pennsylvania Association for the Education of Young Children. She gave me a lot of really good statistics. She says the average wage for a child care teacher in Pennsylvania is $15.15 an hour. She said when you go into pre-K, you're in the mid-30s. Okay? A kindergarten teacher with the same education is making over $60,000 a year, she says. And so they're doing essentially the same job as, for example, a kindergarten teacher in a school district, but getting paid much less in many instances. This video is actually from Crosspoint Church, Crosspoint's Early Learning Child Center. So let me just tell you a little bit about this. Let's go to recent data. It actually shows that thousands of early childhood classrooms in Pennsylvania are closed simply because there's not enough teachers to fill the classrooms. And that's really, really hard, clearly. So Governor Josh Shapiro knows about this, and he proposed investing $55 million in childcare, in the workforce, to recruit and retain people. It would look specifically like a teacher getting $1,000 and a new person coming in getting $1,000, just to kind of get them in, and the ones that are there, keep them there and say, we appreciate you. Now, that's not going to affect their salary. That's a whole other issue that needs to be tackled. But this grant, this $55 million, would at least do that. So Jen, you see her there, Jen DeBell, she's all for this. And he added it to the budget. So if it passes in the budget, that could happen. And that would be great for this industry. So, they're working on both sides of the aisle to get this done. And so we'll see what happens. But again, so I was at the Early Child Center, the Early Child Learning Center at Cross Point. That's right in Harrisburg. It's a great, great, great place for children. And the teacher you saw there, Mrs. Garrity, she has 2 kids that go to school there, but then she's also a teacher for pre-K. So she really appreciates the program. But she says sometimes because we just have enough staff to get by, it's hard to even go to the bathroom. And I just want you to remember that it affects our children, and they're teaching them skills that are so critical in these first few years of life. So we'll see what happens, but we know they need to get paid more, and funding could be the way to do it. So we'll see if it passes in the governor's budget this summer. All right, let's move on here because we're still sticking with the school theme, but we're talking about artificial intelligence, specifically to protect the students in a whole new way and detect guns. So artificial intelligence being welcomed into the halls. That is actually happening. This AI technology, it's in a Perry County school. Now, it doesn't replace the cameras. It is extra. And it should really help when it comes to keeping guns out of the classroom. This is the West Perry School District, and it is the latest to pair with something called Zero Eyes. Zero Eyes AI gun detection technology. It is not the first, it is the latest school to do it, and it picks up suspicious activities. The cameras are the first step. It works with the cameras then to pick up this suspicious activity. All right. The system doesn't require anyone from the district to sit and watch, by the way. One more reason that they're really excited about this. Someone else is doing that. All right, July 4th. It may not be right around the corner, but it will be here before you know it. And when it comes to the fireworks in Harrisburg, there's going to be some changes. There were some arrests last year. A gun was found in the water. So there was a police response, it was a big deal. And so they had to make changes, and here's how they're going to do it. So the city itself will no longer be hosting fireworks for the holiday. They're still going to be hosting activities throughout the day. It's going to go from noon to 7, food trucks, live entertainment, the whole thing during the day. But then what's going to happen is 9 o'clock F&B field after the game, the Senators will launch their usual fireworks. So you can see police getting the gun right out of the river, and people were arrested. So they're just doing it a little bit differently. The goal, obviously, to keep everyone safe. And one of the guns that was found in the Susquehanna River was tossed by a suspect. Other guns were confiscated in addition to that one. And then 3 people were arrested all last year during the events. And that's why the city says we're not hosting the fireworks this year, but you can catch them at FNB Field after the Senators game that night. Finally, let's get to the weather forecast because I think we're getting some nice weather. I talked a lot, Tom. I talked a lot.
You did. You were like dad, and then here I am. So we are warming up for the weekend, Jasmine. The trade-off is going to be a good bit of cloud cover and eventually some rain showers. But tomorrow will just feel nice because we'll reach 60 degrees. A lot of clouds, maybe a passing shower, but hey, it's Friday. Look at Saturday. We're really seeing those temperatures soar into the mid-70s, maybe some upper 70s. It is a bit windy, but nobody cares about the wind when it's nice and warm. And then the rain showers return on Sunday. We're still in the 70s on Sunday, even on into Monday.
Woo!
And then as we go into Tuesday, cold front comes through right as we begin April, and that's when we turn chilly again. So it'll be a nice little stretch here through the weekend, don't you think?
Yes, I think it'll be wonderful. Thank you. I look forward to Saturday.
All right.
All right, that's going to do it for 21 Next. I'm Jasmine Brooks, live inside the Control Center. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our channel. Also, give us a like, and we'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.